Today we're starting off strong with am I the asshole for not wanting to crochet my friend's entire wedding dress for free? Okay. Is it getting less messy? Not really. I don't know. Don't answer that. I think this might be my second last one that I'm able to do because there's only so much drama surrounding crochet, right? Because it's crochet. Actually, you'd be surprised. I keep seeing like videos about crochet drama like popping up on my feed. I don't watch them, so I'm still like so much like what is there to talk about for an hour regarding crochet drama. For today's theme, we are doing when people for some reason just expect you to crochet things for them simply because you crochet and they know you and they just don't appreciate how much work it is. I honestly don't have this issue very often. I get excited when someone wants me to crochet something for them because no one else seems to care. I guess it would be different if I had someone. I would be like, this is a huge issue and we need to talk about it. But the only person who has ever been like, oh, can you crochet this for me? It would be like my sister. And she's like half joking. Like she's not being serious, but she would want what she's asking for, but she's not expecting me to actually make it, kind of thing, if that makes sense. Alright, anyway, we're just gonna get started. Am I the asshole for not wanting to crochet my friend's entire wedding dress for free? So to make a long story short, I started kinda a weird tradition in my friend group. I'm not able to go to weddings much because I have kids, so instead I've been hand making crochet stuff for my friends to wear. Mostly small things like scrunchies and gloves. Most of my friends have been super appreciative and love getting handmade gifts since they know it can take me hours or even days depending on how big it is. Well, we found out that my friend Jay is getting married in April and we're all super happy for her, but it does seem like short notice. It doesn't say when this is. It says April, but it doesn't say when. Yeah, I don't know. Jay asked me if I could crochet her a wedding dress that looked like her grandmother's. Okay, first of all, if it's like her grandmother's, it's gonna be like super intricate. Since the original dress was lost in a fire this summer. Is that not a sign? She wants everything to be exactly like her grandma's dress, down to the yarn color. I was a bit taken aback to say the least, as a dress of that scale would take months to make, not to mention finding a color match to the yarn since it's not super easy. I asked her to send me some pictures of the dress. She's like indulging, is that the right word? She didn't just straight up say no to begin with. I think that's pretty impressive in the least. I would just laugh. I'd be like, what are you talking about? An entire wedding dress for free? In however many months? I don't know. I asked her to send me some pictures of the dress to see what I could do, and let's just say the thing is gorgeous, but there's no way even a skilled crochet expert could get that done in less than 2 months. Does that mean the wedding's in less than 2 months and you're expecting? That's crazy. I politely explained to her that I couldn't possibly make the whole dress for her on such short notice. You can't even buy a wedding dress like that, like on such short notice, can you? Like go into a store and buy one because you have to do like multiple fittings and stuff. Anyway, but I could make her a cute shawl with the same stitch to pay homage to her grandma's dress. That is a super kind offer, and honestly, yes. I mean, you can't be that nitpicky about your wedding. Shotgun wedding, like 2 months. Like you're not gonna get the venue you want, you're not gonna get the cakes you want, you're not gonna get anything that you want because you just gave everyone 2 months. Like you're gonna have to, beggars can't be choosers. She responded by saying I was a bitch because I was playing favorites with my friends by not making her what she wanted and then dramatically stormed off. She made your other friend a scrunchie and you're asking for a vintage style wedding dress exactly like the one that your grandmother wore. I feel like this isn't real because there's no way. How? I'm just in shock, like what? Our friends are kind of split. All of them who do homemade crafts agree with me, yeah, that J expectations are unrealistic. My other friends seem torn because on one hand, this dress meant a lot more to her than just a regular project. Well, duh, then plan ahead, stupid head, what the freak? And that I should have handled it more gently than I did. You're asking for too much. You're the problem. What the heck? Why? Oh my goodness. I don't get why her friends are split. Like anyone would know Even if you were to like sew a wedding dress, that would be crazy. But she's had crochet every single stitch, and it has to be in a specific pattern, in a specific style. She has to like look off of pictures and replicate this thing, which I've been told is hard to do. That's what I do, but like a lot of people have troubles do it. Like I'm flabbergasted because I'm certain that it's very intricate, detailed. The yarn that was used is probably very thin, which means every stitch, like this much of crochet probably will take an hour, and you wanted her to do that in less than 2 months. Her first time probably making a wedding dress, and she offered to make you a shawl, and I don't know what her friends mean by you could have been more gentle in saying it. Like, what way did she tell her friends she can't do it? Like the only way they could have said that and it makes sense is if she was like, why the freak would I ever make you a freaking wedding dress like this? You're not worth my time. That's not worth it. I'm not like if she was just like, no, I can't do that, like that's crazy. That's not rude. That's not, and I get that you're upset about your grandma losing her dress. I mean, you, maybe don't start fires. I get that you're upset about losing this like amazing heirloom to a fire. That can be very upsetting, I am sure. I wouldn't know, but I am sure. But it's not your friend's fault. And she offered to make you a shawl. You should have been like, okay, yeah, I was asking too much. I just thought I'd ask, but that's fine. Anyway, I need to stop. Obviously, you're not the asshole for not making her a wedding dress. That's crazy. She's crazy. She's crazy. Am I the asshole for declining to crochet a sweater for my cousin? This one's kind of weird too. People are so dramatic and I don't understand. I just don't understand. I, 38 female, crocheted myself a cardigan recently that I really like and wear often. I went to visit a cousin, 42 female, and her daughter, 18 female, with my mother, 71 female. I don't know why we always have to give ages and sexes, but cool. And wore the cardigan. So she went to visit them. She wore the cardigan that she made herself. The cousin's daughter complimented me on it and abruptly asked me to make one for her. I explained it took me about 40 hours to make mine. It's fine yarn and pretty long, and that I could send her the YouTube tutorial I learned it from. She starts to tear up a bit and sniffles while telling me, that's not fair. You know I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. I can't. What is your cousin's daughter would be your second cousin, right? I was gonna say niece, but second cousin is even less. Like, you don't owe her anything. And she's 18 years old. She is 18 years old and she is about to cry because you told her you wouldn't spend 40 hours making her a cardigan just because she told you to. I tried to gently explain. I wouldn't. I'd be like, how old are you? What the freak are you? What? I tried to gently explain that the YouTube tutorial is really good at showing / teaching how. She's still looking pouty, but it's like, okay, also, you know I don't know how to do that kind of stuff. No one innately knows how to do that kind of stuff. You just freaking learn how to do that kind of stuff. Like, just do it. Or don't expect people to. You could have, oh, this is how it would normally go. Oh my gosh, I love that cardigan. Oh, thank you, I made it. Oh my gosh, really? Could you make me one? No. Okay, cool, it's still a nice cardigan. Cousin pipes up at this point, like the crybaby's drama queen's mom pipes up at this point, saying that it would be nice if I could just make her one, that she's too busy spend all that time on a sweater because she works. This hit a nerve with me because my cousin often makes passive-aggressive comments, she's jealous, about how I don't work. I'm a stay-at-home mom to 3 kids under 8. That's crazy. And have a little home-based business doing tailoring and mending, some crafting, etc. She doesn't consider my work to be real work and acts like I must live a life of leisure. Previously, I had always bitten my tongue and changed the subject because I didn't want the drama, but I just let it out this time. I told her I do work and I do it while caring for 3 children. She laughed. She laughed and said, It hardly pays enough to be considered work. First of all, since when does the amount you get paid determine whether what you do is work or not? Work is work. I'm not close to any of my cousins, so I don't know if this is normal. I lost my temper and told her that my finances were none of her damn business, yes, and that she's out of her effing mind to think that she can treat me so rudely while trying to demand hours and hours of my labor for free. Cousin starts crying at this point, and the visit obviously ends. How old is the cousin again? Actually, I'm glad she said the age now. 42. The cousin is 42, and she is crying over a crocheted cardigan. Afterwards, my mom tells me that she is very disappointed in me. I hate that. For swearing in front of my cousin's child. She's 18. And that I'm partly to blame for wearing the sweater that started the argument, and I wasn't polite. I flatly told her that's ridiculous. It's an article of clothing. It's meant to be worn. And I have quite a few pieces of clothing that I've made myself. Should I stop wearing them all in case entitled people decide they want me making them all free clothes? Anyways, now my cousin and my cousin's daughter are thinking I'm the asshole, and my mom thinks we're all assholes apparently. Am I the asshole? No! Your mom sucks too. This whole family sucks, and I'm so sorry. Blaming you for wearing the cardigan. Well, if you don't want to make everyone you meet a cardigan that takes 40 hours, then don't wear a cardigan. Stop showing off. The logic. It's not logicking. Why are you crying over a cardigan? Why is anyone crying over a cardigan? And how are you that attached to your wannabe future cardigan? You've literally only wanted it since you've seen the cardigan on your cousin, on your mom's cousin's, like 30 seconds, and you decided that this cardigan is now more important than your relationship with your family. That's weird. That's weird. We're moving on. That's so freaking why. Am I the asshole for refusing to crochet something for my brother's future baby after years of teasing? This one. I, 24-year-old male, let's go, have never been like the other men in my family. I am introverted, artistic, and I would rather cosplay than play sports. At age 14, my great-grandmother moved in with us, and she taught me how to crochet. That is so sweet. I loved it, but my brothers Jim, 27, and Tim, 27. Oh, are they twins? Or was that a typo? Jim and Tim, the twins. That's funny. What's your name? I want to know your name. Tim, Jim, and Slim Fim. I don't think there's another. Anyway. So Jim and Tim used to tease me constantly for it when she wasn't around, and whenever— oh, sorry, I thought I'd seen his name somewhere. Okay, I need to know his name. It's not there. Used to tease me constantly for it when she wasn't around, and whenever I would complain, my dad told me that life's full of people that are gonna call me names and that I need to toughen up. Duh. I honestly think he was just disappointed that I wasn't an extroverted jock like him and his other sons, and felt like he could just pressure me into being more like him. When my great-grandmother died, she didn't have much, but she specifically left me her crochet hooks, and I was very touched. Oh, she also left my cousin an unfinished baby socks that she was crocheting for my cousin's baby. Aw, and I could tell my cousin was disappointed. We kind of had this tradition of our great-grandmother making things for the coming babies. That's so cute. I offered to finish what our great-grandmother started using her hooks, and my cousin was thrilled at the gesture. That is adorable. Continuing family traditions, we love it. After that, I kind of inherited the position of crocheting things for any new babies in the family, and I rather enjoyed it because I felt as if I was carrying on a legacy. Am I going to cry? Am I tearing up? For a cardigan? Although it did nothing to stop my immediate family from making jokes and calling me names. Immediate family sucks. Extended family, green flag. Despite the constant attacks against my sexuality, oh my goodness. Oh my gosh. Sexuality. Okay. I thought I was like dying or something for a sec. Jim, ironically, came out as gay. Freak you, Jim. and has since, apologized for his past treatment of me, so we're on good terms. But Tim is still a jerk to me. Tim is probably a jerk to Jim now too. When I went to college, I went low contact with Tim and my father and would just tolerate them at family events. Last week, Tim announced that Tim is the guy we don't like? Yes, Tim is the guy we don't like. Last week, Tim announced that he and his girlfriend, Tina, were engaged and expecting their first child over social media, and everyone was thrilled. During a Zoom meeting with the family, Tina said she would love a matching blanket, little hat, and shoes for the baby from me, and I asked her to send me a copy of her registry for baby clothes. Tim laughed and said everyone knows that it's a tradition that I make the items. I told him flat out that he doesn't get to make fun of my skills as a crocheter and then expect free labor from me. Yes. My dad said that I was being rude and needed to apologize. Hello? Why doesn't he know? Oh, and I countered that if Tim was hurt by my refusal to crochet, then he should just toughen up and get over it, and then left the call. Yes! I love this guy. Can we be friends? How old are you now? 4 years ago. We're like the same age. No, we are the same age. Oh my goodness. Yay. Hit me up, Slim Jim, whatever your name is. Where am I? Okay, so he left the call. Since then, I've been getting text messages from my parents and Tim saying that I'm being petty and a jerk to Tina. Well, frick you, Tina, why are you expecting this? You obviously don't know what's been going on for years, or you're just like, read the room, Tina, the freak. Being petty and a jerk to Tina and the baby, but I haven't responded. Am I the asshole for refusing to crochet something for my brother's baby after years of teasing? And then there's a couple edits here. So for more information, the last time my dad and Tim made fun of or harassed me for crocheting something was last year at Christmas, so it's still happening. It's not like something that's in the past. It's not like they stopped teasing me, calling me rude names, or questioning my manhood when I went to college. And I was reading through the comments, and a lot of people did say like they think that Tim was kind of like not letting on to Tina what the relationship was like between the brothers, cause she just comes off as like so obnoxious. Like if she thinks she's entitled to those gifts, knowing that his brother bullied him for this like all these years, I feel like she is kind of in the dark and she's just seeing like all the other family members getting all these things and she's like, oh, this is so sweet, this is a tradition, and she's like, oh, would you be able to make these for, and she's just like oblivious to the whole thing. Because I guess if you are a bully, why would you tell people that you're a bully? And he did say in a comment somewhere that he felt like he didn't feel bad about like him or his dad, obviously, but he did say he felt bad about his brother's girlfriend Tina and the baby. Like he thought maybe he was being petty because he thought like it's not fair for them, and it is not fair for them to have a husband and a father like Tim, I will say, but that's a them problem. That's not a you problem. I mean, that's a Tina problem. Tina should have seen the red flags. Baby, I'm sorry. This is the hand you've been dealt. I think this one's the most sad for me, or most frustrating, I don't know. So, am I the asshole for never making my grandson a baby quilt like I did for the other children in my family? I, 56 female, was told about this place by my niece. Oh, so I'm telling my story here to get some opinions from people who aren't so close to the situation, i.e. Reddit. I like to crochet, I like it a lot, and I do it on the side as a hobby and make lots of stuff for my family and friends and pay for everything myself. When my nephew told the family that he was going to be a dad, we were surprised and delighted. That's your nephew, so that's your like second nephew? I don't know family things. What is that? A second nephew? I don't know. We were surprised and delighted. I asked him if he and his girlfriend picked out a name, and they told me that it would be Ian if it was a boy and Sophie if it was a girl. Fake names. I secretly decided to make 2 blankets with each name on it and gifted it to my nephew and his family when I was finally allowed to see their son. I don't know why she said it like that, like finally allowed to see their son. Is she being petty, like she wasn't able to see him for some reason? Or like is this a pandemic thing? It says 2 years ago. Maybe it was a pandemic thing. They were delighted, and it turned out that a neighbor of mine had also had a baby and decided to use the name Sophie for their daughter, so I just gave them the blanket. look, your things just work out for good people sometimes. When my daughter announced that she was going to be a mom, I was excited and she loved the idea of me making her child a blanket too. My daughter waited until she knew the gender before telling me the name, and I started to make the blanket. After that, a lot of people in my family would come to me and ask if I would make them a blanket because of how well I made them. They offered to pay me, but I refused and told them that this would be my gift to the baby, and that all I ask is that they tell me what the name they want. They tell me what name they want months in advance so I could have plenty of time to make it, as I still worked a full-time job and did this in my free time. Last year, my son's fiance announced her pregnancy, and I was happy for them. I repeatedly asked for a name so I could start making the blanket since my son and his fiance told me that they wanted one, and my son's fiance snapped at me and said that I'd get the name when I got it. Okay, never mind, not making you a blanket anymore. After speaking to my son, I mean, she could have like not really snapped, you know, it could have, you know, some mothers like go too much into things. We'll see. After speaking to my son, he and his fiance decided to keep the name a secret until the baby was born so no one could steal it. These guys seem like ridiculous. So no one could steal it? I would not. No, I don't like this dynamic. I asked them how I was going to give the baby a blanket with their name on it if I didn't know what it was, and they said I could just do a rush job later. A rush job? Not even like, oh, you can get it to us whenever. Like, the baby will be a baby for months. Like, it's fine. Just a rush job? This is very much son energy, and I hate it. Son and entitled fiance to the son. Well, the baby was born, and the name was announced on social media. They didn't even tell her. It was just announced on social media, and she was like, okay, I guess it's time to start making the blanket. I was happy and went to visit, but my son's fiance was upset with me for not bringing the blanket when I first met my grandson as per tradition. He was born on a Tuesday, and I met him on a Friday. On the Friday. Tuesday to Friday. And I worked every day that week. Apparently, my son's fiance was hurt that I didn't care enough to take off work to rush the blanket. I doubt she like said in that word. She probably just thought like it was enough time to do it like after work. I told them that I'd make a blanket soon, but then when I tried, my hands started to get in massive pain. I went to see the doctor, and given my age and the cold weather, I may be developing arthritis. And was advised to not do a list of activities until further notice. When I told my son and his fiance, they were again upset with me. So I just decided to buy a blanket, and apparently I'm a petty and passive-aggressive mother-in-law who's punishing them for not being told the name when I first asked. Am I the asshole? I mean, if you are being petty and you literally did all this and you're like, I don't know, with these things it's like maybe it's one-sided because we're only getting one side of the story. Like maybe she was upset that she wasn't being told the name and like blah, blah, blah. But like judging by the story that you have laid forth here, lady, you are not the asshole. These people are entitled, and for what? Like what? And you didn't even tell her the name. What if she wasn't on social media and she didn't see the name? You never reached out to her with the name. And then you're like, why are you here without the blanket? Where the freak's the blanket? You had a whole 3 days. That's crazy. I mean, I could have made a blanket in 3 days. Just kidding. She didn't want to like rush it. These are special gifts. You don't like, you want it to be like a love in every stitch kind of thing. Not a, I have to freaking get this done or my family's gonna hate me kind of thing. So stupid. This one is really what the freak. It's like, I don't know, this is the most not black and white one, I think. It's, I don't know. The people have called this person the asshole. I don't know, it's weird. So, am I the asshole for waiting to give mother-in-law an ultimatum about my wedding because she was crocheting me things? Mother-in-law is really into crochet. She has an insatiable energy and needs constant attention. And after father-in-law lost his shit on her 15 years ago because she kept waking him up and demanding he entertain her, she doesn't sleep more than 4 hours. She picked up a hobby. Already, like in these 2 sentences, you can tell she really doesn't like her mother-in-law, and she sounds like really mean. Like I don't know. Like I don't know how bad the mother-in-law is. Maybe she is super annoying, but you just sound mean. She makes really cool stuff. Mother-in-law and I have a pretty awful relationship, I can tell, but she offered to make me a dress because I loved the one she made herself. I was surprised because she pretty much seems to hate me. I wonder why. But father-in-law said to just let her do it. She needs something to entertain her for all those hours she doesn't sleep. So does she want the dress or does she not want the dress? Because it sounds like you're being pushed to you're letting her make you a wedding dress. People who crochet wedding dresses, like, wow, you're crazy. Around the same time, I began having issues with mother-in-law. Around the same time? Not before that? You just said she hates you. Hasn't this been an ongoing thing? Oh, related to wedding planning. Okay, so she tends to act ridiculous when things aren't about her. She was holding wedding dresses up in the mirror at my appointment. So like holding them up to herself? And why are you at a wedding dress appointment if she's making you wedding dresses? I don't understand. She was extremely whiny during my bridal shower and kept making conversations about her and trying to one-up me. Sounds like you guys are just both annoying. I don't know. I talked to my fiance and knew we needed to talk and give her an ultimatum. Now, I might be a bit of an asshole because she was almost done crocheting the dress and I waited till it was done. I don't know about this. When she gave it to me, I thanked her and waited another week to have the conversation so she wouldn't feel used. I brought up her behavior and told her how it made me feel. I said if there was any more hurtful behavior, this is a lifelong pattern, she would be excluded from the rest of wedding planning and just attend as a regular guest with no extra attention. Mother-in-law screamed at me that our wedding is going to suck and that she's only coming out of obligation. She then asked if I intentionally waited because of the dress. I admitted I had, and she was pissed and demanded I give it to her to cut. Dude, I'd be selling that thing. Like, 2 cuts? Dramatic. I obviously refused, and now she isn't talking to me and says I used her. My fiance tried texting her, but she was just like, oh, F off, I'm busy. Everyone in the comments is saying she's the asshole. I think they're both assholes. I think they both suck. And I don't know, everyone's saying she's the asshole for waiting. I don't know what I would do because like if I really wanted the dress, would I wait? But like if I really wanted a crochet wedding dress, I wouldn't want it to be crocheted by someone who I think hates me. And like I wouldn't want to be indebted to this person if I didn't like them that much and they were so mean to me all the time. I wouldn't want that. I wouldn't want a dress from them. They're sitting with this dress for hours and hours and hours and all their energy is going into this dress, you know? So like if they hate you, all that hate is just being woven into this dress, and maybe that's not something you want to get married in. I don't know why she waited anyway, because like if it's an ultimatum, it was just saying like stop treating me this way. I guess she kind of knew she was gonna flip out, I guess, but like she probably would have flipped out less if she didn't feel like she was being used. Like she's making the wedding dress, sure, fine, but you could just be like, hey, can you stop this behavior, please? I don't like. And say it in a better way. I don't know. I guess it would be lying. I was gonna say maybe say it in a way like, I do want you to be involved, but if this continues, I can't. But like, honestly, I can't lie when I really don't feel... Like if I really hated this person, I could not say those words to them. I could not say, I want you to be involved if I really, really didn't want them to be, but... And lying's not nice either. I don't know. I don't know what I would do. I just wouldn't want them to crochet me anything in the first place. And for free? If I didn't like them, I would at least pay them for it. I don't know. Or I just say I don't want them involved in the planning anyway. I feel like whose parents are that involved in the planning of the wedding nowadays anyway, unless they like are really close to them and really want them to be. It's not just a given thing, especially mother-in-law. Boundaries. I think boundaries are in need. And that's all she wrote, but I have like 2 other ones that I've filmed and I now have enough for a playlist. So if you want, you can go check out the playlist for these crochet Am I the Asshole videos. And I will be making one more. And I think I only have enough for one more. So that'll be the last one. Goodbye.